Divergent thinking is a thought process used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. Many possible solutions are explored in a short amount of time, and unexpected connections are drawn. Welcome to Minds in Formation. So maybe third time's the charm. This is the third time we've planned this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I kept having technical difficulties initially because my first computer was not up to the task.
Was it like an audio situation, or was it just not recording visually too?
It just didn't have enough processing power, storage space, or anything. It was just a super basic Chromebook that I just bought for doing homework, and I was like, yeah, that's enough. But then once I tried to record and edit video or whatever, it just started tanking hard. And then I had you over the second time after I got the new computer, but the digital mixer was having issues. So now I have a hardware mixer, so we're just, we're piecing it together.
Yeah. And I saw that you've had more podcasts since then. So we know it works.
Yep. You want a Modelo?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't drink anymore.
Oh.
I don't know if I've told you that. Yeah. I've recently, I tried it over the summer, like sobriety, and then I started drinking again because the students came back and that made sense for me. But then I realized I was drinking quite a bit more than what I wanted, and then I realized maybe I should just go back to sobriety. So that's what I'm doing now.
Cool.
3 months, a little over 3 months. So
do you think of it as like a permanent thing, or is it you just like to flex that muscle?
Oh, that's hard. That's a hard question to answer because I feel like permanency sounds so daunting.
Yeah, it does.
That for me, I'm just saying one day at a time,
right?
One moment at a time.
I know,
and I find that's made forever seem more palatable.
Yep. I totally agree. Like, I'm sure me and Jess, we dabble in, we'll do dry spells and our sober
like dry
times
January or something like that.
Totally. And I always think about it in the back of my mind because I know at the end of the day, alcohol's really bad for you. Not only can it get you into trouble and make you make stupid decisions, but it's definitively and undeniably horrible for you physiologically. The liver issues, the gut issues, but it's really bad for your brain. And that's the part that freaks me out the worst. Like as I get older, I'm like, I'm not getting any sharper here. So I don't want to speed up the process to me being fucking out of my mind old guy,
No, I get that. What I found with sobriety though, or like just even not making more intentional decisions not to drink, I found that I have a lot more time to do whatever it is I've wanted to do. So lately I've been diving into art quite a bit. Like I picked up oil pastels, drawing. I bought myself a sketching tablet so I can start animating because I have more free time. I'm not as tired or mentally foggy, so I can do things now.
Yeah.
So I found benefit from it. I feel like if I hadn't found activities to compensate for this new time, I probably would have gone back to just drinking again, just because I had a routine and I had a life that was built around that.
Yeah. I don't have problems with dry spells when I do it, but one thing that does creep in that bothers me a little bit is I start to feel like I'm a little bit boring because I'm just not as motivated to go out. Like I won't really go play pool and not drink or go hang out and watch football at a bar and not drink. I'll just be like, I'm just going to stay home. Like, why am I even going to do that? So that's the only issue that I have is sometimes I struggle with that balance because when I don't drink, it's almost like I don't do anything. I just hang out or go into the mountains by myself or hang out with my family, which is all good. But then socially, I feel like I suffer a little bit.
Yeah, no, I relate to that. I felt that was happening for me too. What's interesting, this is kind of reminding me of what we had talked about in one of the recordings we had tried to do. We had talked about restaurants in Colorado Springs and how we kind of wish there was more of a food scene or a stronger food scene. I think this parallels that because in that same vein, I almost wish we had more what we call like third spaces where drinking isn't the focus. It's community building, hanging out with people, playing pool, and not drinking because alcohol's not served there.
Right.
I've been thinking about it a lot more, especially with other friends I've made that don't drink either is like, where can we go out in the community where alcohol is not even a focus anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know of any spots. I don't know of any spots.
There's a
Maybe a coffee
couple.
shop, but
Yeah, it's coffee shop. The roller skating rinks,
oh yeah.
they don't serve alcohol, or at least the one over here, Skate City,
Hmm.
it's alcohol free. We've been starting to play bingo lately,
Oh, look at
which
you,
it's
senior
super fun.
citizen
Yeah,
playing bingo. That's cool though.
I know. It is pretty fun though. There's something satisfying about it because you're just sitting there scanning your numbers and like hitting your little dabber or
Hmm.
whatever. So there's something I enjoy about the whole process. It's very relaxing, you
It
know?
is. Are you competitive though? Because I get competitive even with something like bingo.
I mean, I get excited, but at the same time, it's like there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's
You know,
random.
you can be as competitive as you want to. You can't change
I
what.
know that's the hard part. You can't really. It's very random, unless someone gives you the sheets and intentionally calls your numbers. It's very random.
Totally. But that at least the one bingo hall that we went to, they don't have alcohol or anything.
Hmm.
So there's a few, but I get what you're saying. But I almost wonder how that's going to shake out in general because I've been reading articles and talking to people, and people are less social. Younger generations are less social in general.
Hmm.
I think it's a lot of it's the electronics, right? It's too easy to, especially for young men, to get absorbed in video games or things of that nature and be
Hmm.
like, why do I want to like go out in town where there's a bunch of weird people when I can play this game that's like cooler than anything in real life?
Yeah.
So I think it's easier for kids to do that. And the drinking culture has gone down. But I guess whole point being is I'm wondering what the future of social interaction and nightlife will kind of shape into in general.
It's interesting that you brought that up too, because with my job working with college students, a lot of the students I work with are fresh out of high school, so their social skills are exactly what you described. It's very much, I don't know how to make friends, or it's awkward being in a group setting where
Yeah.
everyone's on their phones. But then another component that I've thought about and talked about with my peers and with my supervisor is this kind of just wondering how much being in quarantine and being that shut down during COVID played into that social development for them too, of maybe kind of not exposing them to opportunities to learn and develop those social skills.
I mean, it's probably a multi-pronged
Yeah.
thing, right? It's all of the things all at once. Like everyone's really into electronics. We're just post COVID that
Hmm.
screwed everything up. You know, for whatever reason, recorded rates of anxiety and depression are higher now than they
Yeah.
used to be. It seems like community is just a thing that doesn't get the focus that
It's
it used
harder.
to.
I've heard from the younger generations that it's harder. They want it, but it's harder to form
Yeah.
because of everything I've said and you said.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe you got to start the
Maybe.
third space, you know?
Maybe I've thought about it because I know right now I'm saving up money so I can go back to school to be a therapist. So it'd be cool to approach that, creating third space and communities in that way through a therapy lens, but also outside of therapy, I would like to see how I can do that.
Yeah.
A lot of goals, but we'll see what happens.
I was always interested in it as well. I mean, that's why I did the meetup for so long, just because I think it's really important. And I've talked about it on here a bunch, so probably starting to sound a little bit repetitive, but I mean, it's huge. It's everything. If you don't have people, like, what do you have in life? You can have all the money in the world. You can have the coolest mansion and the coolest car or whatever. But if you're alone, it's meaningless.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's the reason why I joined the meetup is because I just moved to Colorado Springs and I wanted community. I knew the only way I could have community is by putting myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
So having come across your meetup, but also the Discord that helped me connect with everyone that we ended up having mutual friends with was very important to me. But I don't know if that type of self-driven, I guess, mindset is as strong in younger folks. You're gonna have to like teach them to do that.
100%. Like you have to go out and find it. I always tell people like your best friend or your next boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, they're not just going to come knock on your door.
It'd be cool if they did.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the coolest people in the world. We're just like, hey, we're here. You're like, oh, sick. But it doesn't work like that. It's a grind to figure it out. And you got to filter through whether it's romantic or platonic. There's a lot of filtering that goes on when it
Yeah.
comes to building relationships.
You said knocking on your boyfriend, girlfriend's not going to come on your door knocking, saying, "Here I am." I was on a date maybe 3 weeks ago, and this lady was telling me how one of her like story ideas she's working on was that concept of what if your partner, like you knew who your partner was by like an icon that just suddenly popped up when you met them. And then if you both saw it, that means you are each other's soulmates. And I thought that was a really cool creative idea. But it made me also wonder, would I want to know that, or would I like to be surprised by kind of just how things naturally unfold?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of knowing, but also building it together with someone.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept because, I mean, the journey's half the fun, right?
Yeah, the chasers, so to speak. But yeah, the journey, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole dating experience, right? There's a lot of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Times where it's super fun and you're having a blast and you're having these wild experiences. And then there's times where you're like, yikes, how did I get here? Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, I wonder if you would want to know. Because I've thought about something similar if there was a way to know that ahead of time, because there probably is a perfect match for everyone, or as close to perfect as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
But they could live in a province in China or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like, Taiwan. Yeah. What are your thoughts then on like soulmates? Do you feel like there's one person out there for everyone? Or do you feel like there's multiple people out there for each person?
I think there's multiples. Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that there's any sort of soulmate, because that kind of almost leads into a fate type of idea, right? That there's some sort of predetermined or destiny or something out there. And I guess I just believe that the universe is chaos. I don't think it's ordered to that degree. But I think you could find someone that is the equivalent of your soulmate. You have to be super intentional, and you have to go through the process. Like
both of you have to be super intentional. Like it could be a right person, wrong time situation too.
Totally, 100%. And there's a lot of luck that goes into it. Because I can honestly say I've dated a lot of people, engaged with a lot of people. And it wasn't until my late 30s that I met Jessica, and I felt like, geez, like I feel like I've been looking for you for my whole life. In all my other relationships, there was always that kind of nagging feeling of like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
Something's not right here. And it took, again, till I was like 37 until I met someone and started dating someone to where I finally felt like this is right. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. There's no easy way around it. And unfortunately, you might never find it.
Yeah. And I think that's okay too. I feel like as someone who's single right now and has single friends, some feel pressured, whether it's by culture, family, what they consume on media, to find a partner. For me, I'm just living my best life. If I find someone to be in a relationship with, cool. And if I don't, also cool. Just living my best life. But I agree with you. I feel like the universe is a lot more chaotic than having this idea of like your predetermined fate. I think it sounds nice in theory and could make for a cool movie or book idea, but I don't know if I would say that's how the universe works.
Yeah. And for me, that's not even attacking religion or spirituality or anything like that, because I think a lot of people, they like to think that it's all like laid out, God has a plan or whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the way I look at things, there totally could be a God, but I don't think that he would sit there and say like, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. I feel like whatever God is indifferent to a certain degree.
Neutral, as I would say, very, very neutral. If there is one, I personally don't believe in anything, but if there were to be one, based on how history has unfolded, I think this God or gods would be neutral.
Yeah.
Kind of just let us do what we need to do.
Right. Like it's going to pan out how it's pan out. We're not going to interfere. Just letting it play out.
Yeah.
But some people love the idea of a plan of like, space daddy that has it all figured out.
Space daddy. I'm just thinking like a space cowboy as like a god. Yeehaw.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But it's interesting because, we're talking about community, we're talking about religion. And I do think that there's a little bit of a combination there because I think the church probably for a lot of times throughout history would have provided your community automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the people that you go to dinner with, that you hang out with, that you spend time with. Y'all believe the same thing. So it would have happened naturally.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people who end up become religious because the community they are a part of is religious. So I do think there's value in community through religion. And I think the church acknowledges, at least from my experience, having grown up in like a highly evangelical religion, community is important to that sector of religion. For
100%.
sure.
Yeah, but here we are. I mean, for better or worse, it seems like at least in the West, religion participation in religion is declining like rapidly and has been for some time. Why? I don't know. We're in this new scientific age or whatever where you can explain things with reason and logic. I don't know. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
This conversation would have got us burned at the stake if we had brought up this back in like the 1400s or something like that.
Totally. I actually was watching a video the other day and it's like, what would medieval women think of men today?
Oh, yeah.
And the whole point, this guy does all these medieval like what if videos or whatnot, but it was like they would be disgusted with modern men because they're not pious and
chivalry has gone down.
Exactly. And they would expect someone to be like pining for them, declaring their love, just being overly romantic, at least in the noble classes, right?
Yep.
Where now it's just like fucking text you like, hey, you up?
Yeah, what are you doing? Come over my place or yours.
Trying to fuck?
Just like that, yeah. There are some folks I know who have kind of, based off what you had just said, had talked about like bring back yearning, like they want men to yearn for them and pine for them and go through the ritual of wooing someone. So I think it might come back maybe in like a decade or so.
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, really a little bit of higher standards because I think we've all experienced it where you see your girl, your homegirl or whatever, however you know her, and you know that she's a gem and she's dating an absolute goon, and you're like, what are you doing with that guy? That guy's a fucking scumbag.
I try not to give my unsolicited opinion though. If my friend is happy with the guy that she's with, cool. Right. But the moment she asks what do I think, I will share my opinion. And I have shared my opinion.
Totally.
But just, that's how it goes.
It's on women to figure that out, though, because, at least in heterosexual relationships, women get to decide when a home run is going to get scored, right? Yeah. It's on them. Yeah. So it's their responsibility to demand a higher level of effort and to have higher standards in general. Yeah. And don't hook up with the goons. Like, just because this dude is attractive, like if he's a scumbag, like you have to have a strong enough internal selector to require a higher level of quality.
Don't get me wrong, I've hooked up with goons, so it's not like I'm any better.
Sure.
But I think it's helpful to be more selective. I don't mind yearning and pining and going through that whole romance stage with someone as long as I know we're both on the same page, which it's interesting we're talking about this because I did have a conversation with a lady who, in person, chemistry is great. Outside of that, it was like the communication was bad to the point where we went almost a whole month without talking. And I reached out to her and said, hey, like I don't know if I'm reading this incorrectly, but the silence is making me feel like we aren't on the same page with what we want. And she shared that she doesn't think she's ready for dating, even though when we go on dates, it would have felt like the opposite, like she wanted to be with me forever. So sometimes you have to deal with trying to figure out what this person actually wants.
Totally. And there's so many times where, I mean, I've been there where I'm out there dating or talking to people and I don't even know what I want. You're just maybe kind of lonely or whatever, or you just want some excitement, It is what it is. It's a hell of a process, though, and it can be exhausting.
It's fun, though. I love dating. I love meeting people, but it can be exhausting. Like right now, I'm talking to two people, and even just balancing two different communication styles and two different needs is exhausting. On top of the work stuff I was just telling you about, it's a lot.
Yeah. What got me was having what felt like the same conversation over and
In the
over.
beginning, it's very redundant.
Yeah, like where are you from? Oh, like
What do you want?
what's your goals? Whatever. What's your favorite color? And you're like, like ask so many people the same shit.
Sometimes I zone out during that, and I know I need to be better at being more present, but I do get bored with redundancy, and I feel like I probably have had days lose interest because I don't sound interested in having the initial redundant conversations. But
Yeah,
that's just how I am.
I think the trick though. Did you ever come to one of my platonic speed dating events?
You invited me to them. I haven't been able to make them though.
Okay. What I
My
think.
friend was at it though.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if you met him before, but he's Owen. He's like really tall, lanky.
Maybe.
It's okay.
Yeah. But the whole point of that game was to skip small talk and ask people deeper questions.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good lesson to carry through normal life, too, regardless of the situation. You know, if you're talking to someone, you're trying to get to know someone, whether it's dating or you're just trying to make a friend, just try to think of creative questions that are a little bit outside of the box. Avoid small talk, boring bullshit at all costs. Like, don't bring up the weather. Don't ask them what their favorite color is or any of that shit.
I would say ask someone the questions that you would be excited to answer.
Totally.
Because if you ask it and they answer, they might ask you the same question back. And if you're not really excited about it, it's going to stall the conversation and stall whatever type of relationship you're looking to have with them.
Yeah. Yeah, you could ask someone something like, you know, if money was nothing you had to be concerned about, and you could do whatever you wanted, what would you do? What would you do with your time? Where would you go?
Yeah.
How would you spend your days? You know? Yeah. And then you'll be able to learn a lot more about somebody based on how they answer something like that, as opposed to like, what'd you eat for lunch yesterday?
Exactly. And for me, I like to ask a lot of questions about creativity, music, community, like I talked about third space, because I know those are things I'm passionate about and things I would want to have a connection with anyone that I'm trying to be like friends with or trying to have a relationship with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. So you're talking about school. So you work at a college, and right before we started, you were talking about how you guys been having discussions on AI like in college. So what is like the consensus? How are people trying to figure this out? Like, how does education going to work?
So we have like the staff perspective and like faculty perspective, and faculty are like really big on encouraging independent thoughts and producing independent work. And so most of the conversations I've had with faculty are about, they're not necessarily against AI in and of itself, but more about how AI is being used by students currently. And then with staff, it's kind of like the same thing. We will get like AI generated email responses to questions, and it feels, some people are annoyed. Some people feel like they can't have genuine conversations through email or through messaging because it's AI generated and they're not talking to the student, they're talking to Chat GPT. So some grievances on the staff end, some faculty are maybe just stumped and are trying to find creative resolutions to work with AI, knowing it's going to be the future.
Yeah.
And it is currently what we are working with.
Yeah. It's difficult because it's almost like you're not going to stop this train. This train's already rolling. So how do we use it in a way that everyone's not just hitting the easy button and having their agent do everything for them?
Yeah.
But the complicated part is, if some of these projections are right, that's kind of where society is going, allegedly. If you listen to some of these folks, like even Elon's talking about how robots are going to do everything, AI is going to do everything. Humans can just focus on hanging out in creative pursuits or just whatever you want.
Maybe, because we even talked about before this, like AI is being used for creativity as well. Jessica had mentioned modeling. I mentioned art. And there's probably going to be a future where you kind of like go to a grocery store and you can either choose AI generated art or man-made art. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens in 20 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. The transition period is going to be very interesting. And I keep saying the slightly concerning part, or yeah, a little bit scary part, is we don't really know how it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it takes everyone's jobs, I mean, the government just like gives everybody money, and then and then what? What does everybody do?
Yeah.
Because
That's a good one. Like, what do we do if AI is doing our work for us?
yeah,
I
because
don't
people
know.
need to do something.
People need to have a purpose.
You got to have something going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably ran into it. You ever have a homie that doesn't have anything going on? He's usually up to no good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to have something, a little bit of pressure, of some sort of responsibility,
Responsibility. Yeah.
because otherwise, like, what's to keep everyone from just being like, YOLO, fuck it, I'm just gonna party every day and hang out. I
Mm-hmm.
don't got shit to worry about. Bills are paid,
Yeah. No. Hmm.
and maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, but unless everyone's just self-destructing and drinking themselves to death or whatever.
Yeah. That would be a huge cultural shift for the States, for the US, in terms of how our society and culture would look, because we are very much on like productivity, making money, rising up, and like being able to self-sustain. So I think if you were to take the means of doing that, which is work, away by replacing it with I think that deconstruction would really could shatter what the state's based off of. So I don't know. Hopefully we figure it out though, and we don't crash and burn.
Yeah. Yeah. Other cultures would probably handle it better, like maybe
Yeah.
Italy, because they're already like, yeah, you work for a couple hours, you do a siesta, you leave
Yeah.
work early.
Honestly, if we had siestas as part of our work, I think we would be doing a lot better. I
Totally.
love a good midday nap. I'm not always fully awake afterwards, but being able to close my eyes for an hour be nice.
Dude, the obsession with productivity and just making more money in
Mm-hmm.
America is unfortunate. I think there was a study done in Sweden or Switzerland or whatever. They were playing around with the idea of the 4-day work week,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people talk about that from time to time. Like, what do we do the 4-day work week? But in wherever they did it, they ran this study and they found that not only did productivity not go down, it went up
Yeah.
because they were more willing to be like, let's just push for 4 days. You know, we're gonna get what we need to get done, and then you feel like you have a little bit more time to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how it goes, man. Especially if you have a busy week, you're working hard, you're exhausted, and then the weekend comes along, and now you got to catch up. You know, you got to do laundry and all your chores, and go get your oil changed or whatever else.
Yep.
And when
Save all
that
the appointments for the weekend.
exactly, so when that all starts to stack up, there can be times where you're like, "Fuck, dude, I don't have any time to myself or to
Mm-hmm.
relax."
Yeah.
There's always some bullshit.
We currently, our work, we're kind of experiencing some internal conflict because our department's having us work over the weekends, or is expecting us to work over the weekends
Mm-hmm.
based off the workload they're giving us. And we've been pushing back because of what you just mentioned. Like, we work during the work week, then we work on the weekends. We don't have personal time. So I do think it's important that people have personal time to unwind, to be with their family, to get appointments out of the way. And having 4 work days and then 3 fun days would be nice. I think I'd love to see how it works.
Yeah, yeah, I think it'd be great. I don't think I can say for my job, my productivity would be the same. Like
Mm-hmm.
it would not go down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might go up, but it wouldn't go down. It'd be
Yeah.
totally fine. I could get everything done, and I think most people could. But it's also just unfortunate that we are in this society that is obsessed with productivity and making money, but most people don't really like their jobs that much.
Mm-hmm.
They're just playing the game because you have to. You're just
Playing
trying to
the
get
game
by.
to get the money to pay the bills,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
play the game. Yeah.
exactly. It's the rat race, the hamster wheel
The rat race. Yeah.
that you can't get off. I don't know. How do you feel about your career? Do you like it? You know, or is it just like it just pays the bills?
No, I like my career. I like when I have interactions with students and can have what I call like developmental conversations, which usually take multiple conversations to help a student with their social skills, with their time management skills, with their interpersonal skills. I like it, but I found that the type of job that I want doesn't fit with the current job I have, which is working with college students. I want to be a therapist. And who knows, maybe being a therapist isn't what I'm looking for either, but it aligns more with what I enjoy, which is working individually with someone on their journey, whatever that journey looks like.
Okay. So you're going to start school for that?
Hopefully soon. I need to start applying to schools. I have money set aside for it, but my goal first is to find a job outside of education, kind of mentally reset, and then apply to school, and then see what happens after that.
That'd be cool, man. Well, hopefully it goes good if you wanted to be integrated with the college. I mean, I think you'd be straight because you'd go to school and you get all the certifications. But I just bring that up because one of my homegirls, you know Andy?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyways, she's a therapist slash counselor in high schools.
School counselor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for some reason, Colorado is doing some sort of shenanigans where they're requiring some extra certification that they didn't have before. I don't know all the details about it.
Interesting.
But her and a whole bunch of other counselors are pretty much on the verge of getting shit canned if this legislation passes, and they're gonna have to like move to a different state or go back to school and pay like thousands more dollars to get this certification.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll have to look into that, because if I am going into that field, then I should know more about that, so I make sure I'm getting the right education that I need, because I'm not trying to move out of Colorado or Colorado Springs. So that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I would assume if you went to school for it, it would be a part of it.
Integrated at this point.
I would think, but maybe it depends on what exact career field you're pursuing or whatever. So you plan on staying Colorado's home for...
Colorado's home.
Forever, you think?
Yep. I moved to Colorado with the intention of staying in Colorado. I didn't think I was going to stay in the Springs, but then I made friends. I met Karina, as you know, and we all started to have friends that all knew each other. So then community kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And I'm dedicated to my people. I value the people that are in my life. And so it would not make sense for me to move at this point. I'd have to have a very strong reason to do that. And right now I don't have one.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you've got the boxes checked. I saw this video the other day, and it's this old man's voice. And you hear like somebody be like, "Granddad, what's your favorite place?" And he's like, "Well, I don't really have a favorite place, but I have favorite people.
Yeah.
And wherever those people are, that's my favorite place."
That's what I say. I would agree with that. Yeah. The only thing I'm missing is just the romantic partner. I read an article recently that's being shared around on Facebook about Colorado Springs is the worst for dating. And I laugh because it kind of is true, at least from what I've experienced and my friends are experiencing. The dating scene is not the best, but that's not a deterrent for me to leave. I don't mind that.
And at least you have good community, because I remember reading back in the day that people really get themselves into trouble when they're pursuing their romantic endeavors when they don't have good community, because they're kind of overly thirsty and overly lonely. So they'll kind of latch on to anything.
Too eager,
yeah. But if you have a good friend group, it takes a little bit of that pressure off, because it's not like you're totally isolated and just like devastatingly lonely. Like, yeah, sure, you want the romantic piece too, but at least you have...
need it though. I'm not like, I'm not going to be upset and crying if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and you're not going to allow yourself to get into the wrong situation.
Get in trouble, cause mayhem.
Yeah.
I do think it's important to have a sense of community and have something to occupy your time when you're not with community, like hobbies.
Totally.
Like for me, when I'm not out and about, not doing stuff like this, I'm at home doing something artsy, because that to me is fun.
Yeah, so you say you've been painting. You're still dabbling in music too?
I do dabble in music. I'm working on this really big project. I originally wanted to make it a ballet, but I realized I don't know if I know enough about ballet to necessarily make a ballet. So I've kind of shifted the focus into making like animated videos that go alongside music. I don't want to call them music videos, because it's less about like an MTV music video, more about sharing a story. And so I'm writing a song that's going to sound like a ballet song, in a sense of it has that like dance-like sound to it. And then I'm writing or creating an animated storyline to go with it. And I'm in the very early stages of it. both visually and through the music. So I'm doing a little bit of both, and that's taking up a lot of my individual time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool. What platform are you using for the like video generation?
So I'm using it's this free software called OpenTunes. So I'm using that, but it requires you to know how to draw. I don't know how to draw.
Mm.
So I bought some sketchbooks just to draw whenever I'm like in a meeting or at home and I have some free time, just to keep that skill growing so that when I go to animate, can at least apply some of the skills that I'm learning.
So is it like you draw the initial reference and then is it like an AI tool that kind of brings it to life from there?
No,
Or?
you do all of it.
Oh, so it's
You bring
straight
it to
up
like, yeah.
straight
It's
up drawing the whole thing.
exactly, yeah. And that to
Oh.
me, I don't have any skill for that, but that doesn't bother me at all because I love the challenge of not knowing something and then seeing what I can make out of that once I learn it by doing it.
That's cool.
That's why I joined pool. Like I didn't know how to hold a pool cue, but here I am now. I'm a captain for a team, and I can teach other people how to play. It's because I said, "Yeah, I'll learn this and challenge myself to do it," and that's fun.
That's cool. That's a great mentality to have. I think more people should lean into that sort of thing.
I agree.
Like learning a new skill, like getting humbled a
It's
little
very
bit.
humbling. Yeah.
Yeah, because you might be rolling around like you're the man, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I totally suck at this,
Yeah.
and I have to spend serious time to get better."
It's also helped me have a deeper appreciation for artists in general. Like I used to just look at art and be like, "Oh, that's just like a tree in a forest." But now I'm realizing how much skill it takes to draw a tree in a forest, especially if you're using like oil paints or color pencils or charcoal. Like it's a lot more difficult. So I've just gained a deeper appreciation for artists too.
Are you like an art museum guy? Do you get into that by going there and like checking out paintings and stuff?
I don't really go to art museums, but I will take dates to art museums because it gives us a moment to like have deeper conversations.
Yeah, I tried to get into it. I can appreciate art. Like if I see a
Mhm.
cool painting, I'm like, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
But going to an art museum and wandering around,
Yeah.
not for me.
I would probably do it for the historical learning. Like I love learning about history. So I like museums in general, but art museums are a little bit lower because I'm not necessarily a visual artist. I'm more of a musical artist. So looking at a painting doesn't make sense to me. But looking at a painting and saying this is the meaning of it, the historical context of it, here's the history of the painter, that to me is the fun part of going to an art museum.
Nice. They almost got me at one when we went to Key West.
Mm-hmm.
We went
Shadow
in there.
Keys.
Yeah. It was dope. You ever been?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Florida.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Key West was rad. That was the first time I ever went. It was a crazy place.
Did you ever try key lime pie?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's big there. But
some people are just so into it. I'm like, it's all right.
It's like that's what I grew up knowing as like the pie of pies, like key lime pie. Just because in my region of like South Florida, that was a thing there.
Nah, man. Pecan pie. That shit's so good.
Pumpkin pie is probably my favorite though.
That's up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were down there and we walked into an art gallery and the dude running it was super awesome. He was a really nice guy. And he started showing us around and Jessica like laser beamed in on one. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. And the guy, he's a good salesman. He immediately goes and grabs it. He's like, oh, follow me. And they have a special sitting room where they have this really baller couch. It's all blacked out everywhere else, but the lights are perfect. So they hang the piece that you're into.
That's a good selling point. Get you immersed in the experience.
It is. And we just sat there and Jessica was like drooling over it. And I was like, God damn it.
Did you get it?
Make me spend a bunch of money. No, I didn't. I couldn't bring myself to because it was random. It was a painting. So this guy paints specifically Veuve champagne bottles in different settings.
Okay.
And it was really cool, but I was like, I can't bring myself to spend like $1,500 on a painting of a bottle of champagne that I don't even know where I would put in my house. It wouldn't match anything.
You put it in the background here.
I do need something. My homeboy hit me up on one of the last episodes. He's like, dude, it's about time for you to get some wall art. I know. We're redoing the room soon. We're bring it full circle. But yeah, man. Yeah, we definitely got to do some decorating after that because this, I mean, I moved in when I first moved here like 6 years ago now, and I just threw things in different areas, and it's
Hmm.
basically been that way ever since until Jess moved in. And she's
Yeah.
like, all right, we got to make some changes, dude.
Yeah. Time to make this a home,
Yeah.
not a storage unit.
Yeah, because I'm like a functionality guy.
Me
I'm
too.
like, if it works, if it's functional, I don't need to replace it. I don't need to move it. It's good. It serves a purpose.
I agree. I'm the same way. As long as it's comfortable for me and whomever I'm like living with or inviting over, I'm okay with it. Which I
Hmm.
know some people who've walked in my apartment be like, "Oh, you should probably put something on the walls." Sure, if you want me to, I can.
Yeah. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for the unsolicited decoration
Yeah. Now
advice.
leave.
Yeah. Get the fuck out. Yeah. Yeah, it's just never something that was a priority to me. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe, I was in the military forever, deployed a bunch, living on base in barracks or different areas. So I just kind of got used to keeping it light and not really investing that much into your current location because it's going to change soon.
I was kind of the same way, not with military experience, but with moving every year or every other year. Just in my field, it's in order to move up the ladder, you often have to move to a different place, whether it's a new city, new state. So I've lived in different states, and so I've just got used to, instead of having multiple cars, I would just have enough to fit in the back of my Honda.
Hmm.
And now that I know I'm living in Colorado, I've been more comfortable with buying home decor and art to put on the wall because I know I'm staying here, and moving. It's a lot easier when I know I'm staying where I'm living.
Yeah. Would you like to, what part of town would you like to live in ideally? Or would you
Mm,
like to be close to downtown, because you like to pop out?
I'd probably want to live on the west side.
Yeah, like maybe over
Um,
by OCC or something?
yeah, I mean, I know the houses are pricey, but if money wasn't a thing, I would want to live there just because it's closer to the mountains.
Yeah. I feel like it's pricey everywhere, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Real
Nothing
estate has
out east,
gone
though. I don't want to live out east. Seems
hell
too
no.
disconnected from what I've seen.
Yeah, 100%.
Talk about community.
Yeah, dude, I got major issues, and I think that's part of it. The whole suburban lifestyle. I've always said, yeah, it's really cool, I guess. You have a nice house and you got a yard or whatever, but nobody even talks to their neighbors.
Yeah,
It's like
white picket
everyone,
fence,
yeah,
2.5 kids. Yeah.
it's like everyone's living in comfy solitary confinement.
What I like about the west side is the houses all have personality, individualized personality.
Yep.
Even from like the exterior to whatever's in the lawn. Like that's what I'm looking for like a neighborhood.
And it's more walkable. It's going to promote
Mhm.
community automatically. People are
Yeah.
going to be out and about. Like that shit doesn't happen in suburbia that
Mm-mm.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's pockets. So I don't want to shit on it totally because I will say one of the coolest neighborhoods I ever lived in was in North Carolina. We just had this one street, and it just seemed that everybody on that street was awesome.
Hmm.
And it was very tight knit. It was one of the coolest places I ever lived for that reason. Again, just because of the people. And the code was if someone's garage door was open and the light was on, that mean come on over, hang out. And I swear, anytime if I was feeling a little bored or whatever, I'd poke
Just
my head out.
turn the light on, put the garage door up.
Yeah, or somebody else would be out there already.
Hmm.
One of the families was Chamorro, so they were from Guam,
Hmm.
and they were always hosting people, and they always had killer food.
That sounds amazing.
We'd be having some beers, playing darts, and next thing you know, my homeboy's old lady just brings out this bucket of like delicious pork fried rice. We've been
Sounds
drinking
so
all day.
good.
I'm just like, oh, you're the best.
Sounds so good.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about community, because then you can do stuff like that. But I think in order to have a community like that, everyone has to be on the same page,
Yeah.
which can be harder, in my opinion, harder in a suburbia where you might just want to go home, focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily see that in other communities. People want to have things. They want to do like community garage sales, for instance, bring people out of their houses and into the neighborhood.
Yeah. And one of the downfalls of being in a military town, and I've talked to friends about this, throughout my life, military communities can be somewhat incestuous in a way,
Mm-hmm.
in the fact that they only want to hang out with other military guys or other veterans, or sometimes it's like they only want to hang out with the guys from their unit. They don't
Someone
like the
they can
guys.
relate to.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes they don't like blend in well with normies. And I don't know. I've never quite been able to put my finger on why. Like, you guys are holding yourself back by just hanging out with the same three bozos talking about your fucking war stories. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like, get out of the
It
bubble,
becomes an
dude.
echo chamber. What I've noticed is that we get a lot of, in the pool community, we get a lot of people from the military joining pool because they want a community outside of the military.
Yep.
And I've always found people who do that, they tend to, I guess, integrate well to the Colorado Springs community and end up wanting to stay,
Yep.
even though they might be here for a year or two.
Right. I mean, it's the way to do it. I think you should do that wherever you live.
Yeah,
Something I
no, I
always
agree.
tried to do. Even my first duty station, I was in South Korea.
hmm
And a lot of people would just hang out right outside of the gate. There's a strip of bars called the Ville, and everybody is just out there all the time playing
Yeah.
pool or getting drinks or talking to fucking juicy girls or whatever.
Sign me up. All that sounds fun.
I mean, it's cool, but it's like the same old shit day after day after day.
Yeah.
So once I kind of realized what was going on, I was like, dude, we're in a whole ass country with all kinds of things to see and people to meet. So I just hop on the train and dip.
Go
Most of the time
explore.
solo.
Yeah.
I never had any issues.
It's interesting you bring this up because in my work field specifically, working what we call residence life, housing residence life for like a college campus, we live where we work.
Mm.
And the big thing we as a field struggle with is work-life balance because someone lives where they work, they oftentimes are working way past regular normal hours, or they feel like they can't escape work because they live where they work. And so this idea of building community outside of work is very important to me and things I stress to my colleagues. Like if you want to, the reason why I've been working in my field for 9 years now, which is like double, almost triple the life expectancy for someone in my field, it's because I don't prioritize the community at work. I prioritize community outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important too. I just want to bring that up because you had mentioned how you kind of did that too by exploring the area around you.
It's important. Plus, I think it's cool to have your kind of different pockets of friends, right? I mean, I'm sure you have it too. You're like, this is the wild group. You want to have a good time, call those dudes or whatever. This is like the nerdy group. If you want to go play some board games or whatever, this is like the adventurous group. And maybe there's overlap. Like some people are in all the groups.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was kind of fun to have those sort of setups, and then even more fun than combining all the groups. You know?
Yeah, which is why I enjoyed whenever you do like the events at your house. I enjoy coming over. I haven't been in a while, but I enjoy coming over because it's cool to see people I've met in the past that I've really enjoyed talking to, or meeting new people that could potentially be new friends for me.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. So, Colorado Springs is going to be your home. I think we talked about it one of the times when we first tried to do a recording. What would you do to make this city better in your eyes?
Yeah. I feel like I already answered it by talking about third spaces, but I definitely think having more spaces for community is important. And then I mentioned this last time too, but a food scene, having a stronger food scene.
Yeah.
I think if we can create physical spaces for people to hang out and do things together, I think the Springs as a whole will be more interconnected because we have a lot of transplants. Like this city is known for having people here for a year or two and then dipping. So if we can just create spots for people to create community while they're here, maybe they'll stay if they can. I know with military, it's harder to do that. And then imagine those places having really good food.
Yeah.
Like if we had more Jamaican options here, I think it would be amazing. Better barbecue. I'm a huge fan of barbecue food. If we had better barbecue, maybe more Texas barbecue.
Have you been to Chuck Wagon?
I have. I love Chuck Wagon.
Chuck Wagon's pretty good. I think that might be the best in town.
I think that is one of my top ones. I think Rudy's is close to it, but I think the only reason why I like Rudy's is because the interior design of it reminds me of a barbecue joint in Florida called Shorty's Barbecue. It's same setup. You go to a counter, you order, and then you sit down like in a food hall. So I'm a little bit biased in that sense, but yeah, Chuck Wagon. Oh my God, so good! I'm so glad you brought that up. I might have to get that today or tomorrow or the day after.
It's the best. We go from work once in a while. They have this thing you probably know called the Texas Twinkie. You ever got
Yeah,
one?
I have not. No, I've thought about it though.
Well, for those that don't know, it's mind blowing. It's smoked brisket
Mm-hmm.
and cream cheese stuffed inside of a jalapeno, wrapped in bacon with barbecue dry rub, and then it sits on the smoker for however long.
I'm so hungry now.
Dude, I mean, you can never go wrong with a jalapeno popper in general, but
Yeah,
that's just making it even
yeah.
more awesome.
That's always looked good. But there's just the seasoning they use, the way they cook the food, and the sauces. Just all three of those. Normally, a restaurant can hit one of them, but they hit
Yeah,
all of it.
totally.
And speaking of community, they pride themselves on like being integrated in the community. Like they have really active social media. They're always encouraging people to come by. And if they have leftovers, they'll share about that. So
Yeah.
I really like them, even as just as a business. I think they're really great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But I agree on the food thing. It's a lot of people's major complaint with Colorado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, the food scene kind of sucks. Restaurants just kind of come and go, and many times they're underwhelming. Like nobody's really bringing anything that amazing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely some room for growth. But on top of that, the continued revitalization and growth in downtown, like they've been doing a lot, and there's more on the horizon. So I'm hoping that kind of fosters all this stuff that we're talking about, like more like walkable areas, more community based living and things of this nature. Because this town has like so much potential. It's beautiful here. It's awesome here.
It
We
is.
have access to nature. You know, it's a great city. It's got so many good points, you know, so we just need a little bit of tweaking. And then finally, a little bit more of a music scene. I would love a little bit more of a music scene. We've got a couple of venues, you know,
Yeah.
like the Black Sheep and
I
Sunshine
want more
Studios.
venues like the Black Sheep, though. I'm a sucker for small music venues.
Me too.
I want to feel like when I walk out, I smell like cigarettes and beer. Even if I didn't partake in any of that, I want to know I was around that.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Or even some like bar venues, right? Like I know it's kind of, Colorado Springs is kind of sleepy, right? It's not.
It is sleepy. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a super happening, exciting place. It's just not. I mean, you can go downtown at 2:00 in the morning, and sure, it'll kind of be busy right around the club area.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's nothing really going on, you know? And that's just college kids and young soldiers just getting blacked out. Like it's not like it's cool in those clubs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a place to get fucking hammered and trying to find somebody to bone, basically.
Yep.
It's not like they're drawing people in because it's amazing. It's not. But you know, you ever go to like Austin, Texas or Nashville, and I know those are outliers because they're known for music, but you walk down the street and you just hear music coming out of all these bars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any of those.
We don't have that.
Not even one.
I know it might sound to hear this, but even Salt Lake City had a music scene. Like I think there was a movie back in the 90s, like Salt Lake Goes Punk or Salt Lake City Goes Punk, something like that. And it kind of speaks to what their music scene was and is. There's very much small music venues, and you could walk around certain parts of downtown and find a music venue.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't really say that for Colorado Springs.
Not
You
at
find
all.
bars, but not music venues.
No.
You have Lulu's. I know that's new.
Yeah.
Oscar Blues just closed, so
Right.
that's hard.
Did that include the downstairs venue? Was
The whole
that the
thing.
whole thing?
Yeah.
Damn. That's too bad because every once in a while they had some cool shit down in that
Mhm.
basement.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I've been to a couple of their comedy nights. It's fun just to see the local comedians, even if they're not good. Just
Okay.
fun to see what they got.
You know what spot I did go to that I was pleasantly surprised? Thrashers.
I don't know where Thrashers is at.
I could show you on the map, or I mean, you just Google it, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of the street, so it's not like right downtown, but it's just one or two streets over.
Okay.
And it used to be something else. Somebody else could tell you, or you could look it up what it used to be. You would probably recognize it. But anyways, so now it's like a punk rock venue bar thing. And we went for New Year's Eve. It was dope.
Okay.
I used to listen to like a lot of punk rock. It's kind of into the like skater scene and stuff like that. So I've got a sweet spot for it. But it was awesome, and it was just a whole bunch of like weird punk people there, and we had a ball. It was a great time.
Sign me up. I love punk rock as like a music genre.
Mm-hmm.
I love to just jam to that, but I don't. didn't know we had a place in our city to do that. I know Black Sheep, I guess, kind of counts, but
Yeah.
Thrashers, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, you've probably heard of the band Tejon Corner Street Thieves.
Yeah.
You're aware of them, right?
Yeah.
They bought the place.
Oh,
They own it.
interesting. But they're not punk, though.
No.
That's fascinating. I
No.
would think they would want to funnel out their genre of music.
Yeah,
But
because they're
that's
kind of
good.
like, what do you even call it?
Like jam band, folksy.
Yeah,
That's what I would.
bluegrass
Yeah,
almost, like
yeah.
a little bit of all kinds of stuff going on.
But good on them for opening up a punk rock scene or bar.
Yeah, it was cool. They were the headliners that night on
Cool.
New Year's Eve, so they
Okay,
came and did
that
their
makes
own
sense,
show.
yeah.
You know, yeah, it was rad. Not bad at all. But yeah,
There's one place I like. It's over out east. I think it's called like Sunrise Theater. That one has some pretty good punk and rock and more genres outside of that. But for me, that's what I look for is like rock.
was it Sunshine Studios?
Sunshine Studios. Yeah, I think I may have said Sunrise, but yeah, Sunshine Studios.
We went and saw Steel Panther there. Have you
Nice.
ever? Are you familiar with them?
But it sounds cool just by name.
Yeah, it's very cool because it's 80s hair rock, you know, glam
Cool.
metal kind
Like
of thing.
Kiss almost.
But it's they're poking fun a little bit.
Okay.
You know, so they're fucking around on purpose. They're wearing wigs and they're wearing tight
Like a
spandex.
parody of it all. Okay.
But the songs are cool. Like it's good sounding music. So it's not like ridiculous or bad in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're talking shit. They're interacting with the
Oh,
audience.
sign me up.
They're making a bunch of jokes.
Do you
At
ever
one
go-
point, they call out. They're like, "Hey, you with the huge tits, you're gonna jerk all those dudes off, right? Hell yeah!" And then they start singing a song
jamming
about like
out.
jerking off.
You're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
That's cool. Steel Panther. I'm gonna have to look into them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say the Crow or Buzz Crow, Bistro, I think is what it is. Is that place open or did it close for
Closed
good?
recently, just recently.
Because that was a cool spot. It was more older crowd, but I know
Mhm.
they did some rock. But it was like a local, just like elderly people just rocking out.
Yeah. Another one that's good for that, which I think I'm going to go to, because I have some older friends too. You know, like you said, when you come over to my house, I got a couple senior citizens.
Yeah.
You know, I've taken under my wing. But Stargazers Theater,
I've heard of it. I've never been.
I've never been either, but they have a bunch of tribute bands that play there all the time. And
Interesting. Okay.
I think it tends to be an older audience, but one of my buddies invited us. I think we're going to go see like a Led Zeppelin tribute band.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, and it's like a small, intimate thing, you know, and you get all the little tables everywhere, so it's comfortable, you know, you get food and drink and whatever.
That sounds like it would be on the west side because that seems like a west side venue. But is it the west side or is it more out east?
It's smack dab in the middle. I feel like it's not right on Platte, but it's not that far off of Platte
Okay.
in one direction or the other.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of right in the thick
Is
of
it new?
No, I feel like it's been there forever.
Okay. I'll have to look into that because the only Platte band or Platte venue I know is Black Sheep.
Yeah. There's also apparently a little one. There's a record store right across from the Black Sheep, and they do small shows in there too, like small local metal and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning more. I'm glad I came over because I would have never known about that.
That's my shit though, man. It's like going to live music that's like one of my favorite things to do.
I know Mother Muffs does live music. I've been at Mother Muffs more often because my friends like to do trivia there. So I kind of like reconnected to like blues music because of Mother Muffs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really cool building. And again, I feel like so much potential, but every time I've gone through there and there has been a band playing, I feel like it's been pretty lame. I've never seen anybody that was that good. You know?
I've only been a couple times to their shows. And every time I've been, it's been packed. So maybe we just have different nights that we've gone. But it's usually an older crowd, which I feel like makes sense for OCC.
Yeah. Yeah. OCC is like, it's a little more chill, kind of low key.
Yeah.
I actually like it for
Me
going
too.
out better than downtown many times.
Mm-hmm.
Hit like Alchemy and Nova West and,
yeah.
you know, Thunder and Buttons and Mother Muffs. And I like the scene over there.
We've had some nights at Thunder Buttons.
Totally.
You know, for the karaoke. I've gone there for the pool.
Yep.
It's a neat building.
Totally. Well, dude, maybe we got to rack our brains, fucking start something up.
Yeah, karaoke night. That's what I'm thinking.
Hell yeah. Let's do it, bro. Well, I appreciate you coming by, man. It's been a good chat.
Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the show out. See you next time.